Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Roleplay Give channel. We are playing 7th edition Call of Cthulhu's Masks of Nyarlathotep this morning. Uh, we've been doing this for a while now, and we are in the England chapter of the 6 chapter story, I guess, book. Uh, and we're actually sort of towards the end of that chapter. Uh, but in any case, thanks for joining us if you're here. Thank you, bots, for being here. Always appreciate having at least 2 or 3 bots in the channel watching. Thank you. But if you happen to not be a bot and I've miscategorized you, I apologize and thanks for hanging out with us this morning. Not that being a bot is necessarily inherently wrong. You, you be you, bot. Okay. Uh,
I was going to say bots have feelings, but I don't think they do.
And if they start to, we're in trouble.
We really are. Oh man, I will regret everything I've ever said to Google.
I feel like there's so many movie plots where this is the case.
it's true. It's it's like the
Alexa,
sci-fi
I'm
equivalent
sorry?
of a zombie apocalypse.
I'm always very nice to my technology just in case.
I'm about as nice to Alexa as I am to my kids, which means that sometimes I tell Alexa to shut it. Tired of your noise. But most of the time I say please and thank you.
I do allow my
No
child to give
bumpus?
me information I didn't ask for, but I do not allow that from Google or Alexa.
I didn't ask for your noise. Okay, so today we are, like I said, playing Masks of Nyarlathotep, and our eh, are they
Are
intrepid?
all our frames all like fisheye lens?
Um, maybe. Mine's got the blur on it. I don't know.
Maybe it's just because they're round. It looks like they're getting bulbous.
Excuse me. So, uh, our I don't know if I'd call them necessarily intrepid. I would call them cautious. Our cautious investigators have been in England for about 2.5 weeks at this point. Uh, and they have made some friends, set some people on fire. Um, they were dead already. Um, but
Oh, still
Some of
alive?
them.
yeah, some of them. Some of them were unconscious and then woke up to being on fire, screaming their last screams before shuffling off this mortal
We
coil.
don't know. They could have died of smoke inhalation before they caught on fire. That would have been more
They were
merciful.
following the good rule of staying low to the ground when there is smoke.
Not, they were low to the ground because they'd been run over by a car. No, I'm sorry, a
Hey, now
full
it was a
truck.
truck.
We're in England. It's a lorry.
There you go.
Also true. All of these things are very true, and they all happened. But in my mind, they woke up in time to burn to death. And since I get to tell the NPC stories, that's their last couple seconds were uh, a horrific and painful death.
Where they all scream out things like, "Oh, but my sick child!"
Yes, I have a dog that needs feeding. Um,
I have a goldfish!
I, I never
My
found out what
paralyzed
happened to the
mother who
fox at
depends
the
on me for
Capitol.
all of her support.
Uh, anyway, so again, this is all very true and all happened. But they also became aware of a connection uh, to the cultists that they're investigating here in England with a workshop factory in Derbyshire, specifically in Derby, uh, which I think actually is pronounced Darby. Uh, but and
Like Terrence Trent.
they wishing well. Uh, and so they have made their way separately because they're also now aware that their presence is known to the cult in England, and so to shake any potential tails or surveillance that they have, they split into two groups. Um, and two of them went on a expedition to seek pond monsters, slowly making their way to Darby by motor car, while the other two had a little bit of a rougher go of it, having been followed by a couple people, but they managed to switch trains often enough, uh, trying to pose as tourists going throughout central London, that they believe now that they've shaken their tails and are heading north towards Derby via train. And so we will. I think we picked it up with you guys rendezvousing in Derby is where we left it. Um, and so that's exactly where we'll pick it up. And I will ask the investigators, whoever would like to go first, to first introduce themselves and their character, what they're doing, and then popcorn it to the next person to introduce, like by maybe interacting with that character, and then before that person responds, introduce your character, and then go on. Does that make sense? Or is it too many instructions? Okay. Whoever
You
would
got
like
it.
to start.
I'll go first this time. Hi, I'm Daw. I'm
Go ahead,
playing.
Daisy.
Yeah, I've
I know.
got issues with the cameras here. I will fix that, but while you guys are talking.
Oh, they're fine. I'm in the right one. I'm in the right one.
You are on the right one. Nobody else is.
Who do I get to be?
You're
Who
You
am
are
I?
Purdy.
currently
I'm
Purdy.
Purdy. Okay.
Oh, that's the case. Who am I? Let's see.
You're
You're
Daisy.
Hi, I'm Daisy Ransom. I was my nurse during the Great War. No, I'm Dawson. I'm playing Clyde Davidson, who's currently going by Henry Blackburn, veteran of the Great War, and overall a hater of cultists at this point. Not a fan of them. Awful people. Sometimes they bite you in the chest with their weird mouth teeth. Sometimes you become a vampire from it.
As
And it's
opposed to
just,
the other teeth.
yeah.
Yeah.
But these were mouth teeth.
That's true.
Congratulations on making teeth in your mouth sound weird.
Yes.
You did. They do sound weird.
I'm doing my job.
Do it, Mike.
You know, sometimes he has short-term amnesia just for a 10-minute time span for some reason. That's really awkward. You don't want to have that happen. Had a
Also
wonderful
true.
time hopping trains with Daisy, avoiding tails, slowly going crazy, throwing knives into
You
tail
lost parts
walls.
of your head memories.
My head memories, yes. I don't remember good. You know, throwing knives in walls is completely fine and staying in his mind's eye at this
Using
point.
your hand fingers.
My hand fingers, my phalanges are doing really good jobs right now.
Your finger phalanges.
My finger phalanges, and having a wonderful time at the drinking place of the what was the name? The Five Sawyers.
That's right. The Five Sawyers. Cool.
And he's gonna hop over and just lean over to Daisy. I mean, I think the idea of us going up the stairs and down the stairs was kind of really dumb to really think about it. But hey, it seemed to get the job done. Those people are really stupid.
And Daisy is me. I am Robin. I'm playing Daisy Ransom, who's going by Teddy here in England because, we're trying so hard not to be noticed and followed. um, Daisy is a nurse. She was a triage nurse during the Great War, but she's been finding herself more and more interested in understanding the spirit world and the thin veil between life and death. And hanging out with these gents has given her the opportunity to do a lot of that investigating. Um, and yeah, Daisy had been going by train with Clyde, and I don't know, I thought it worked out pretty well. We were leaving all kinds of clues that weren't clues, just to try to steer people off of our case. And Daisy is now keeping notes in a notebook where she's doing a similar thing. She's posing as an investigator of sorts in order to ask some of these tough questions, but in her notes, she's listing things that are accurate and a bunch of stuff that she's just making up. So if her notes are ever discovered, hopefully it'll confuse um, anybody who takes a look. It might even confuse Daisy. But yeah. So Clyde, I don't know. I think the idea was wonderful. We were able to confuse them enough to get them off our tail, and now we can figure out what's going on here at Henson Manufacturing. And I'm going to turn then to what are you going by right now, Holly?
Yep.
Yes, I'll turn to Holly and be like, Holly, you know what? Before we head out there, you should really pick up a bunch of rocks and put them in your pocket just in case. Good to be prepared.
Did you think the rocks are? I'm not certain I understand.
They're a good improvised weapon. They get attention, and sometimes they, can be worth money. Maybe you'll find something worthwhile.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. I'm Ed. I'm playing Professor Harmon Farwell of the University of Chicago, currently traveling under the pseudonym of Robert Hollister, aka Holly. And I recently traveled to Derby by motor car with our friend Purdy, who's currently in the loo. And Daisy, can I ask you a question? On the way here, Purdy and I concocted this ruse of looking for lake monsters or later pond monsters, as we weren't finding any lakes. And I thought it was somewhat good fun. But thinking about what Purdy had to say about it, do you think there's any credibility to these stories about these creatures?
Hmm.
As a resident of the United Kingdom,
I mean, I've never seen one myself, but that being said, I hadn't seen things that sucked fat out of people until recently either, so there may be such things. Probably is a good idea. We should ask Purdy when he's out of the loo if his aunt's scrapbook had anything about pond monsters.
well, I think it did, in fact, which is what led us down that path. I, it certainly created excellent cover for did we talk about the fact that we were followed?
I don't recall how much we were able to catch up on.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Holly, how's it going? On the way here we were followed, right? That was
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
we repeatedly ran across. Well, it turned out to be an incredibly inept follower, I think, unless that was all a ruse. But his car broke down twice. Once because Purdy sabotaged it, and at least I think he said it was goats, but I don't think it actually was the goats who did it. I think that was a ruse.
What did the goats
And
do, though?
well,
They are
according to
destructive.
Purdy's story, they peed on his tire and then slashed it with a knife.
Oh, well, goats I know
I'm-
chew on things and eat things that aren't.
And certainly I'm being a bit facetious with the fact that it may have been goat, because I am fairly certain that it wasn't. Um, not entirely certain, of course. We can't prove these things, but we certainly. We took a very circuitous route, and this gentleman from the foundation certainly was present in more places than he should have been.
Well, that is good to know, and it's a bit concerning to me that we don't know for sure if his ineptitude was manufactured or if he just really is inept. Because if it was a ruse, he could still be following,
And he could be. He doesn't have a car.
or someone else could be. We were followed as well. One time it was by someone that actually, Finley was following us. He thought we were leaving him a message. So now, if you do need to leave him a message, he responds to little piles of coins, apparently.
Yeah, I respond to that. If you ask me.
Well, that's interesting.
A
Do,
drop
the,
signal.
do you need like a certain number? Do the number of
Three.
coins in the pile? Oh,
Yes,
specifically
there-
3. Does it
3
send a different
coins.
message if there's a different number?
Possibly. I didn't really realize I was sending a message to begin with, so I was trying to send. I was trying to look like I was sending a message without really sending a message, but it was 3 coins stacked like this, and that is now our drop signal for Finley. Probably good to know.
I believe we said they were shillings too. 3 shillings. Is that right?
I I didn't write down exactly. I was
Okay.
just describing it as I was leaving piles kind of stacked in ways that seemed
Okay.
significant. So I think it was one of three different types of coins, like a shilling, a
Oh, it just
penny,
made a
you
little
know, but
little
yeah,
ziggurat of coin.
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, so you are having this conversation at the Five Sawyers, and um, I don't. Did we say it was like early evening that you guys reconvened? I believe that's what we said. So you could be having some sort of dinner if you'd like. But what are your plans? Like Clyde has already visited and done surveilling for a week on Henson Manufacturing. Uh, you know a little bit about it. He wasn't able to see in, even with his perch uh, at, at a farm, old barn to the west of um, the manufacturing plant. And that's manufacturing. It's called Henson Manufacturing. Manufacturing plant, even for 1920s, this is far more modest than, this is not like a giant two-stack, you know, coal burn. There is a furnace room, or a furnace building, there is a shed, but there's not a large footprint plant here. So it's a small operation.
I'd actually written down that the last thing we had talked about was Clyde and Harmon going in first while Purdy and Daisy were looking to see if that team was being followed. But I don't know if that's still
Yep,
what you guys are thinking we
that's
want to
what you had
do,
talked about. Yep.
or if that was just something we were suggesting at the end of our last.
Personally,
And I should take rocks in my pockets?
I think so. Don't you think that would be? I mean, that way you've got something to, if somebody's coming and you can just kind of throw it into the bushes in a different direction. It
Daisy,
might be
was this a
someone.
message from the spirits?
No, but it probably should have been. Or maybe
Right.
it was, and I'm just picking up on it naturally now, and I don't even have to go through a psychic.
Right. Well, that would be convenient since your last psychic. Well, yes.
at an early retirement. Thanks for bringing that up, Harmon. I really appreciate it. I didn't mean for it. Hey, how am I supposed to know if a weird black figure who says don't tamper with stuff is causing problems?
Sorry, am I missing something?
What do you mean?
What weird black figure?
Oh, it looked like a really dark, brooding figure wrapped in more like Egyptian regalia, that kind of stuff. It was Elias at one point, but then it wasn't. So I asked him a favor, and apparently he did not take that too well.
Wait, it was Elias, and then it became this other figure.
Well, I asked Elias if he could help me with the whole 10-minute amnesia thing that I thought was really weird. He said, "Let me see what I can do." His eyes rolled back to his head, and then he kind of fizzled out, and then this thing came forward. It's pretty weird. Am I sounding insane? I think I am. Am I
Well,
okay?
it's well,
Don't worry, there was no amnesia here. I promise you.
um. So here's my concern.
Yes.
If that spirit Elias was in fact this dark entity that retired your psychic friend, aren't we here on Elias's advice in a way? And it may have come instead from this entity.
I'm gonna say
If
no, because I think you yourself said something about Hanson manufacturing in the first place. And that was the whole point I came up here for that.
I think that came from Elias, or maybe it didn't.
I know there's one instance when you said it, or Purdy said it, and then there was something about being built.
Yes.
He
Yes.
did say that. He did say that a lot. Also about his pipe.
Yes.
Which was in his hat band, which is an odd place to keep it.
Yeah.
So were you thinking that the the entity was not Elias and was trying to steer us here for nefarious purposes?
Oh, that's a concern that's blossoming in my mind. Yes.
I feel like it's more of a tale of Icarus and where we step way too close to things we shouldn't have.
Hmm.
I feel like it got involved that way, or would that make sense to me at all, Keeper? Because I don't know.
I think that that's a perfectly okay way to go with it. Uh,
I mean, Daisy, every time you've had a seance, it's been fine. It's just, I guess, when I pushed a little too hard.
What was the dark figure saying to you?
Speaking of Dob written in his notes. Oh,
I
you
know it's pretty
know,
traumatic. Sometimes it's hard to bring back some of those memories when they're so traumatic.
I
Would
really
it help if I
think
startle you? Do you think it would, jar that back into your memory?
We go.
I
Boom!
appreciate the unfazed. You do realize I did night raids during the war. I kind of had to not be startled during a lot of things.
I had to try.
What?
I think a good startling is self-preservation. Perhaps if you
Not.
startled easier, you wouldn't have been had the fat sucked out of you.
Hey, now that was weird. I have not seen that before. I was rather startled, but then I proceeded to stab him instead of run away. So that's a bit of an issue.
Right. I absolutely would have run away much sooner.
Or
There
what
is
I
some
believe I
tendrils.
remember, if I really think about that whole situation, is that a voice similar to Larkin, so that someone else was in control or something. Larkin, an otherworldly being, is pre- uh, preventing us from leaving. I don't know. I think it's my what when I said I couldn't really leave the room right away. You know,
right.
there was an Ankh symbol. I remember that. It appeared, and it was like some dark cosmic void when it revealed its chest. I don't really remember what it said though, because I did not write that down. I believe it was haunting me.
Was it telling you to come here, or was it saying to stay away?
I
You don't.
believe it was more along the lines of, "What are you messing with? Don't be messing with this."
Oh, it didn't want us to investigate at all, or didn't want you to.
If I'm remembering it correctly, yes.
There was some taunting of you are messing with things that are above your pay grade.
If it
Is
means anything,
what I recall.
I didn't take those taunts too well.
No, you kept trying to ask more questions.
Clearly, it
You know,
didn't make a lasting impression on me.
I I think Carmen has a point, Clyde. There may be a time where
Excuse
running
me.
or being a little bit afraid would actually work in your favor.
I mean, fear is inherent in the psyche for a reason. It's to preserve us.
Hmm. For example, if there's a big void, you might not just want to walk into it and
Oh,
sit
don't
and
worry.
stare
I
into it.
didn't. I promise you I didn't.
Yes,
On my honor, I
This
did not.
time,
from what you're describing, had you, you likely would not be here.
I feel like I would be not exactly the same person as I was before.
well, not exactly
I
a
think that's
person at
true.
all. I mean, it's nothingness. Walking into nothingness sounds like a bad idea. I think we should all agree on that.
Oh, that sounds even more foreboding than it was before.
There's no shame sometimes in having a little fear, Clyde.
I mean, you don't need to rise to the level that I inhabit at all times, but a little bit.
Can't I have just a little peril? No, it's much too perilous.
Says a disembodied voice.
Sorry.
Because you're not on camera, so it was really freaky. It was just like out of nowhere.
I was making some coffee. It still am. So I had muted.
Still may
But
find it difficult, but I will try to keep that in my back pocket.
You don't have to feel the fear, but just, I know, you could think, would the average person be afraid at this moment?
Oh,
And if the answer is yes,
if there's one person I know who definitely has no fear, it'd be Purdy here. Purdy, do
Oh,
you have
Purdy,
fear?
you're back. You must have really had to take a dump.
Yeah, you know, all that English breakfast.
It's the beans, really.
Black pudding.
Yeah, sorry. Give me a second here.
we've just been talking about how Clyde might benefit from having a little bit of fear so he doesn't walk into, voids and taunt the nothingness.
And sass talk ancient evil beings.
Right. And he seems to look to you quite a bit, Purdy. Maybe if you were echoing I know, Haman and I tend to be a little bit more on the cautious side, but even someone strong and brave like yourself, I'm sure sometimes operates on fear, no? Or caution,
I mean, if there's one thing I
knowing when to
definitely
run
fear
away.
is that Purdy's unexpected behavior towards me is really something. I don't know what to expect with him.
I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Uh, I mean, I would say I worry about you guys more than I worry about myself. But like, that just sort of worrying about you and not worrying. It makes it easy for me to, not really think much about myself. I don't really have like I don't know, a good answer. But I think Clyde, we already know, like, just gets himself in trouble normally. So, like, if Clyde's not learning from his past, then I don't know. Clyde, what are you trying to do anyway? Like, what's this like? Why are they so worried about you?
I
Are you just
store
gonna walk there or something?
down, apparently, according to Harmon, an ancient being and taunted it as he was taunting me and
Yes,
did not learn to run away.
exactly. That's the part that is important. Instead of running away when faced with this ancient void being, he sat and taunted it.
I mean, I picked up that old dude down in Peru and shook him a little bit, and it was kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's true in hindsight. But to be fair, at that point, we did not know that such beings existed. That was sort of our wake up call to this greater universe of potential threats.
And Clyde, even if you're not worried about yourself, if you follow Purdy's rule of worrying about us, we would be very devastated if you walked into the nothingness. So, if not for your sake, for our sake, be careful.
What if we
Well,
Value
tied
your
like a big
life.
rope to Clyde? So if he walks in the nothingness, we just have to like tug of war him back.
Are you suggesting giving me a leash?
I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be around your neck.
Necessarily. This intervention brought to you by.
By rope.
by
Always 50 feet.
rope.
50
By-
feet's always a good number to have.
by the hemp growers of America.
not normally of America.
No, not normally.
Brought to you by the sailors
But in
of the British Isles.
1925, I bet you there could be.
Oh, sure, yeah, Founding fathers were all hemp growers.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think that became illegal till the 30s, 40s. In any case, doesn't matter because that was a joke. Um,
Oh, how we want to go about let's. Ooh, food's here. Harder.
yeah, fish and chips.
Excellent. Couldn't ask for anything better. Back to the main task at hand. How do we want to go about this Henson business? Do we want to wait till nightfall? Do we want to get to a place first? Then wait for nightfall, keep an eye on it, see if anything comes in and out.
Well, I'd defer to your wisdom on this. Glad you surveilled it before, and you have a bit more experience in this sort of thing. I think, even if it's only been developed as we've been traveling.
Well, from what I've noticed so far is they tend to work, I believe they work day and night, if I remember correctly, Paul. They're constantly working.
Yeah, that was the case.
They may have people working throughout the clock, but not everyone's going to be there at once. At night, they should have at least a sort of skeleton crew to man the perimeter, and no shipments should be coming in that late either.
You remember two guards in particular, that there were two guards at night.
If we have our wits about us, we can alleviate that threat rather quickly. Maybe get in the building. No, I'm not saying kill them. Just have them take a quick little nap.
Before or after we start the building on fire?
Probably before. We're going to need to figure out a way to get into the building first. There's a way through the back, which I believe had a door for a truck. I'm trying to look at the building again.
Can you guys see the map?
Yes.
Okay. So there is this large brick wall. There is a gate here, and then there was a backup truck area. Can you guys see my pings? This is the main gate area. Let me.
We do not see your pings currently.
I did.
Oh, that was me, the brown one.
Oh,
I sort of forced it. There's a main gate. There's no back gate? Sorry. There's a main gate right here. Can you guys see the green ping?
No.
You might be on the wrong layer. You might be pinging on not.
Oh, I'm on objects and tokens, but I don't think you guys can see because maybe I don't have a token down for you.
We are on a.
well, but I could see.
You're
We're on
not.
different
You're
map,
not
I
on
think.
this. You're not on the same map as me. Hold on.
Oh, well, there you go.
All right.
No.
Uh,
we
That'd
can't
do
see.
it.
All right. So there is a main gate right here,
Yeah, got it.
and a smaller gate right here. So there's this like the person walking in gate, and this is the truck driving in gate.
And over here.
No,
Oh.
not quite. Let me see. Let me this one. Oh, you did. I was just gonna move them. But truck gate is pretty much where you have it, and then person walking in gate is around here.
Got it. Are there like guard booths there, like between that, or?
No, this is a older structure. The guards seem to be more like along the lines of night watchmen. You know, they've got the electric torch, and they're, sort of walking the inner perimeter of the walls, which Clyde was able to see from being on the old barn up in the hayloft and being able to see down into that. But the wall itself is 10 feet tall. Um, and I mean, Clyde could sketch all of this out, almost making it look like this map there, with the boxes and little gates and things like that. So,
And our goal here is more just to find what is being produced, right? We're not really trying to do much more than learn and maybe see if there's
Well,
incriminating evidence.
from what we've been told, well, Elias seemed to think it should be stopped, didn't he?
Yes, I suppose you're right.
Whatever they're building should be stopped. Nothing a
I
good
know,
truck driving into it couldn't accomplish.
maybe, but what we found before, how do you stop something like that statue was really bizarre. So, depending what we find, it might be harder to stop. than just a truck, lorry, whatever we're calling it.
So we're gonna burn the place down then. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I was assuming that was going to
I
happen
like the way you
regardless.
think, Daisy.
Really, as if the past experience is any indicator, that was going to happen anyway.
I mean, I'm sure there's other ways to destroy
We could
buildings.
just skip the middleman, and just start the place on fire right out the gate.
I think we do need to know what is being produced, though. I think that's important information.
Right.
So
Well,
if we burn it down before finding that out,
What so there's two things immediately adjacent to, on other side of this complex. Are there a lot of other things, or is it basically that and sort of empty space?
So, if you scroll down uh, on the map, I mean this won't completely answer your question. It'll just help me use reference points here. So you see, you're currently in the Derby town
Right.
center. Henson Manufacturing is to the southwest and is sort of on the outskirts of town. So the old barn is maybe an outbuilding of a larger farm, but not a ton. There's a couple of old industrial buildings. Clyde would be able to report that in fact, I believe I said this, that it is sort of a lonely place, and that you're both mostly on this road that's going to take you west to Mickleover or east back into Derby. And I'm sorry, in the southwest. Henson Manufacturing is the southwest, sort of very farthest reach of Derby. Not situated like Chowdhury warehouse, where there were warehouses to the north and south of it, and you guys were like running in between like 3 to 5 foot wide alleyways in between them. There's just happens to be this old brickworks to the east, an old barn to the west, but otherwise not, scattered buildings. Sort of from an appraiser point of view, we'd call it a mixed use area with predominant uses being industrial and agricultural, rec land to the west, vacant recreational agricultural land to the west.
well, that's important.
Yes. Well, it lets you know that for the next 5 to 10 years, there's probably going to be little commercial development and land values will remain stable.
Well, that might
So,
change after all the buildings burn down.
Yes.
I mean, so if we burnt that old barn down, wouldn't everyone run out for the factory to try to help?
I hate to admit this, but I was having a similar thought.
That's that whole question was just to set that up.
I feel like they would have a knack for also drawing unwanted detention by the local authorities.
Well, yes, but what do you think their response time is this far out?
At the fire brigade's response time, I do not know. I don't live here.
What if we set a lot of fires in the other half of town?
Now that might be
Like
a bit
the-
more.
We recreate the Great London fires to keep them occupied there while we
Purdy's
investigate.
new psychic damage is going to be becoming an arsonist.
I don't want my grandchildren to read about the Great Derby Fire.
Oh,
The Great Derby Fire of 1925.
Right.
I'm not completely against setting fires, but what I wouldn't want to happen is it would reveal our presence here before we know what is actually happening. I still think it's very important that we're able to identify what is being produced here, as well as stopping it. So if we start the fire and that, doesn't, if there's a second part of that plan that we get to maybe investigate and see what's actually happening, that would be great. But if we start the fire, everybody knows we're here now. That could be a big problem.
I guess my thought along Purdy's plan was that if we were to start a fire if one of the buildings on either side were to be set ablaze, it might draw the attention of everyone inside away and allow us to get inside and have a look.
What if we did it
But
at night?
if they're doing something bad in there, why would like unless it's threatening their buildings, I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't leave to put out a fire in a barn that doesn't belong to me with people I don't care about.
Well,
If
you
I'm
you
doing
might if the
something,
barn is close enough that the fire could spread.
well, that's what I said. Unless it's threatening their buildings, unless it somehow is a threat to them, I don't think they would come out just to be altruistic and help,
I think you're right.
or
What if
just to be looky-loos and see what's happening. They
but what
have
if
a
like
purpose.
if there's only 2 guards at night and we did it at night? We don't have to make a big one. We could just on top of the barn or something or on the top floor, just sort of start something.
Oh,
So
I guess one thought I have, Clyde, you were in that barn before. Is are there things in there that could plausibly lead to a naturally occurring fire? Because as Daisy's saying, it would be best if there weren't something tying that to interlopers being about.
If I really think about it, there may have been an oil lantern, and I'm just stretching because I don't think Paul ever mentioned one. But they had to light it somehow, so maybe, if I really think on it, there may have been one, but who knows if it's still there now, or if there even was one.
what if we just make spooky ghost sounds?
What do you mean?
I mean, just go up there and we make spooky ghost sounds.
What's a spooky
I-
ghost sound?
I,
Yeah,
I,
like-
I admit that plan is incredibly entertaining.
We could scare those guards right away from their post. I mean, they've probably seen spooky stuff, right?
Yeah, well, maybe they're immune to your spooky ghost sounds then.
I don't
They're
know.
The
like
things they
Clyde.
have
I
seen
do
are
some good
scarier.
ones.
Well, let's hear it.
Nah, it just I can't just do it on command.
Well,
I really
how are
have
we
to.
to,
You need
how
to
are
be
we to
able to
know how
scare me.
successful it would be?
I
then?
really have to prepare.
Well, when you're ready, I want to hear it. Maybe
All right.
this is what you
Well,
need to scare me.
we will. I will wait till the perfect moment, and I'll scare you all. How's that?
This could be a good test for Clyde, exercising that fight or flight.
But just you guys asked for it, so
I mean,
I can't.
they
I'm
asked
not
for
held
it.
responsible for anything that happens because of it.
That's fair.
So we going? We just gonna talk about burning this barn down?
I really don't think burning the bar down is me our best option here right away.
So you're
It can
scared.
definitely be a plan C. It will be definitely be plan C or plan F.
What would you suggest as plan A then, Clyde?
Or B, for that matter.
Hmm.
The way I normally go about things, the less they know that we're there, the better. And every interaction we've had with this group so far, we've set one of their buildings on fire.
So you're suggesting that perhaps we're a little predictable.
I mean, we did it back in New York. We just did it last week, 2 weeks
Oh, I'm
ago.
not disagreeing with you.
We did kill like 4 of their men. They probably know.
Hot
And if they're
wire.
willing to tail us for it, I think they know.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I believe discretion is going to be our best course of action.
Do you know where they're actually producing? Like, were you able to ascertain any of that when you were here before?
I mean, I believe I saw one of the buildings light up with weird colored lights, which almost resembled building something, but I wasn't able to confirm it. But if anything, it was the building that he would point to, the one that had the glowing lights in it, which I believe was this one.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
It would be that building.
So that would be the one that you think we should start with?
I believe so.
Sorry, the the images are now showing up on my map. I don't know what that is.
That's an elder
Glowing
god.
lights.
It's an elder god.
It's a flying
It's a-
Oh,
spaghetti
we'll
monster.
start with the
elder
elder
god.
god
person.
building.
It's a colorblind person. Oh, it's Medusa.
Yeah, now it looks like Medusa with a beak. I don't know what that orange.
So wait, yeah, can I ask a quick question? Like, we what's going on? We like, don't we think they know we're here? Like in this town here.
Think so.
Like we
They
just
were
sort of
trying to
like,
follow us, but they probably I think we should assume they know we're here or that we could be here.
I honestly don't believe they have a reason for us that they know that we know about this place.
Well, I had a bit of trouble following that.
I don't believe. I believe they
we
know we are onto them, but I don't believe they know that we know about Henson.
We did try pretty hard to mask where we were going when we left town. And I felt that at least on our end we were fairly successful, and it sounds like you felt confident.
I still think there is a possibility that people have been given a heads up about us in this area because we were in the warehouse that burned down where they were shipping things. We've been in enough places to pick up on this trail.
Do we think that they knew we were in that warehouse? Because I'm fairly certain that well, that there were no witnesses.
I don't know what they know. I guess, prefer to operate under the assumption that we're not walking in safely. That they.
I mean, I guess the reason I ask is if they really didn't know we were here, right? Or they had no clue we would come up here, then they probably wouldn't warn the factory that we might show up, which means we could have our car break down right in front, right? In the middle of the night and ask the guards for help or something like that. Like things like that. But I think that level of trickery is not going to work because I do think we have to like you just said, we have to sort of assume that they know we're here,
or that there's a possibility that they know there's a possibility we might come here.
That they're at
Right.
least on alert for people matching our description.
right?
Especially if you had that gent that was his car broke down several times that you steered away.
I mean, that
He
was
knows we're
unfortunate.
they know we're on the move. And if this
Yes,
is a place they want
those
to
were some
protect,
crafty goats.
So
this is-
mischievous, them goats.
if this is a place they want to protect, if it were me, even if I didn't know for sure what the other people knew and where they were going, I would think, oh, they're on the move. What if they come here? We want to be ready for them. That's
Do you think
my
the pond? Do you think the pond monster just had to make sure that the truth didn't get out, and that's why the pond monster destroyed that man's car so viciously?
You said it was goats before.
Oh, right. Sorry, yeah. But the pond
Unless-
monster, yeah.
It hopped the water, decided to go on land
Just
and mess with this guy's tire.
just gonna interject here a little bit. While you guys are sitting having dinner, there are a couple other patrons in the bar, but it's not well traveled, and so it is somewhat, not strange or anything, but it's the first time in a while that the front door is opened and somebody comes in, walks up to the bar. It's might surprise you a little bit that here in the restaurant that it's a looks to be somewhere between a 12 and 15-year-old boy. He's got a satchel, and he just walks up to the bar. Just don't know whether or not that grabs your interest or not, but that is the first person to walk in the whole time during the dinner hour here. Place is not as frequented as perhaps other places you've been, but you don't know if the Five Sawyers is a, big time reputable restaurant or not. Tavern.
Watching to see if the boy orders a drink.
Nope, the boy plops a newspaper on the table, takes some money from the tavern keeper, and turns around, walks back out.
Paper boy?
It's the paper boy. The evening news has just been delivered.
That's something we can use. Do you think he delivers to the manufactory?
We know the customs of paper boys in the 1920s as to whether they build to industrial buildings.
They would go wherever they've got a subscription, but also hawk it on the streets as well. Paper, evening news, yelling out the headlines of the day. Clearly, the tavern keeper here has a subscription and has just received his evening paper.
Why don't we ask the paper boy if he's, there's any weirdos in town, like following us?
I think that sounds like a wonderful idea.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
I mean, he's if the bartender knows him, then he's a people don't pay attention to kids,
True. Yeah,
and
that's
they
true.
see a lot, particularly someone like him who's wandering around the city, probably knows it backwards and forwards.
Which one of us is going to go talk to a child?
I have an 87 in child wrangling. It was technically kid wrangling, and when I wrote it down, I meant goats, but I didn't specify.
The varieties of wrangling with
Wait a
Puritan
minute.
bottoms.
All of the troubles that man had with goats, and you're skilled in wrangling them, are you?
Wait. You know, a baby goat is called a kid, right?
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
You've uncovered the conspiracy.
Well, I'm certainly glad you're on our side.
How old did you say the kid was?
Anywhere between 12 and 15.
All right. I'm gonna run. I'm just gonna get up out of the table like a little Forrest Gumpfish, like stand up and start running, and be like, hey, kid, can I get one of them newspapers?
Oh, sure. I have no idea what it would cost, like 2 pence, whatever.
Right.
But easily managed, and he, flips a paper up to you.
Hey, can I? You're from here, right?
Oh, certainly, yes.
Tell me this. Like when the last time I was here, I what's your name, by the way?
Oh, my name is Rufus.
Rufus. Hi. I'm Mr. Bottoms. But you can just call me. I feel like I should.
Are you from New
You can
York
just call me
City?
Kid. I'm sorry.
Are you from New York City?
I'm from that big place called America, but not New York City. Little bit away.
I don't
Hey,
get many Yanks
hey,
around here.
I was here once. Well, not here, but down in London once, and I had a great time. I used to box a little. And I was wondering, like, you must know this place real good, like every place in this town.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I missed the question. Sorry, Dusty
I
walked
just
in
yeah.
and I.
Oh no, you must know this place real good.
Oh,
Like you get around, like
oh yeah, sure.
the,
My route takes me quite a few places out, honestly. Most on
Ah,
the south side.
I can imagine that must be hard work. Hey. So the first question I have for you is, how often do you deliver this paper? Is it like every twice a day, once a day? You come over to the pub there?
Oh yeah, right. Like it's a morning edition and a evening edition.
All right. So do you mind? Well, I'll give you. I'll pay up front, and I give them quid or something.
Okay.
Be like, will you will you deliver for us, for me? Just every edition you have, even if we're not there at the time. I'd love to catch up on what's going on in town.
Oh, right. Yeah, sure. Um,
All right.
over at the Five Sawyers then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
fine. Yeah.
and
Oh,
then um, I,
he makes a little note in a notebook. Uh,
okay, Purdy's really
Mr.
digging at this
Bottoms.
point. Um, so I have another question that's kind of weird. So, um, Purdy wouldn't be a satchel sort of guy. Oh, how do I make this not sound creepy? So, um, my aunt, you're not gonna believe this. She was the sort who she just believed in ghosts. Like, and she believed in all sorts of things: pond monsters, goats that destroy your car, ghosts, all sorts of things. And she made me this book when I was a kid, and it had um, newspaper articles from all the weird things that she had ever read in the newspaper, like maybe a person disappeared, or maybe pirate treasure was found. All those crazy stories about weird things. So, do your newspaper, do they ever report on that? I could probably take some of those out and put it in the book with them.
Oh, well, not as such. But you should check out the London News in today's edition. And he just taps the paper in your hand. Strange
Okay.
goings on in London.
Did they take any pictures of it?
Uh, no, I don't think there were any
All
photographs
right,
or
all right.
drawings.
I'll have to get my glasses because old man got hit in the head a bunch, so not too good
S-
at reading the letters.
Sorry to hear. Um,
Um, hey,
yeah.
she did mention, though, my aunt. She mentioned there was some sort of like famous ghost story here in town. Like, that's the
Yes.
reason we're up here.
Yes.
There
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, you've heard of it. At the old Bell Hotel.
The old Bell Hotel.
It's most haunted place up here in Derby.
Really? You ever seen something there?
Oh, not me.
Would you
But
spend the night there?
lots of people still do. Lots of strange
Oh,
people who apparently like to be scared. Well, my English accent's terrible. uh, uh, you I don't know. Some of them like to paint their knickers, I guess.
all right. Well, all right. So I'm going to ask a favor, and I promise I will. I will pay you well the more information you deliver to me. How's that?
uh, as long as
Do
it's
you
not
see anything?
illegal.
No. Like, it's just because you know everyone here and you know everything around here.
Know a thing or two. Sure.
You bring me weird information, like weird things going on in town or stuff like that, or if or like, I don't know, if you think there's a ghost following me or something. You bring me information, and depending on how good the information is, I'll give you some money. And I'm not super rich, but my friends over there are, and we're trying to find some of these ghosts here in town.
I knew it was pronounced Darby, and I keep messing it up. I did know that Derbyshire and Derby, and yeah, but I keep messing it up because, well, I have a Midwestern
Oh, Harmon's gonna keep saying Derby because that's what it said, how it's written, and he falls back on writing. And he's an arrogant American.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thanks for the help on that, though. Good for us to know. So, but obviously, Rufus would pronounce it Darby. Uh, sure, I can do that. I'll keep my eyes open for pond
Why?
monsters and the like. And
Ghosts or like anything, like even creepy people around that are just like lingering in places they shouldn't be.
okay, yeah, no.
I mean, I know I'm a creepy person lingering in a place I shouldn't be either, but
I've already
me
reported
excluded.
you to you then. All right.
Yeah, I'm not giving you any money for that one.
That's fair.
So anyway, all right. I look forward to it,
All right.
ancient Rufus.
He
I
gives
give
you
him a salute.
doffs the cap to you, and he's got the newsy cap on, and then he's gonna uh, walk off and continue. He sort of starts shouting out the headlines from the Derby Telegraph is the name of the paper,
So
and you do have a copy.
I probably go back in and I'm scrutinizing the headline for a while before I finally relent and give it to someone else,
The
having
head
not figured out what it says
right, yeah, can't
about
read.
London, whatever it is.
That's in another section of the paper, but the headlines are as you plop it on the table, you can all see the headlines. Just some sort of trade dispute, labor shortage kind of. Labor's organizing in Derby. Uh, uh, but papers on the table.
He said there's something weird happening in London, guys. Also,
Oh,
he
I'll take a
told me
look.
we're staying in the wrong hotel.
I'm gonna flip through and see what the weird goings on in London is.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just. Yeah. Clexian says she'll be glad to leave England. Yeah, I'm not sure that my Egyptian or Australian or Chinese accents are going to be any better, nor should I probably even attempt them. uh, or Kenyan. Uh, but the sorry, I just saw what Bruno put in the chat too. That kid wants his 2 shillings. uh, and it don't want your information. Want 2 shillings. All right. Uh, you flip open to sort of the London section, like the London news. It's not just London news. It's like sort of the big city national news kind of thing. And there's stuff from Edinburgh. There's stuff from uh, Birmingham. But uh, the London section has a headline that says "Suspected arson!" Uh, exclamation point. Foul play. Uh, uh, blah blah blah. Murders. And basically, the article goes on to say suspected arson and quadruple murder in the Limehouse district of London. Uh, the contents of uh, the warehouse, several of them badly burned, uh, look to be antiquities and mechanical parts, uh, which the antiquities, uh, they were able to identify some of which uh, by reaching out to the Penhew Foundation, whose director Edward Gavigan came and identified several of them and is helping the authorities route them to the appropriate places. Uh, there is a Norwegian ship captain who is in custody, although he is not. It's not been confirmed by Scotland Yard that he is the main suspect.
Gee, I wonder what he did to piss them off.
Maybe he owned the shit that was on the manifest.
Yeah, I'll relay that to everyone.
If you guys wouldn't mind doing a Hey Clyde or some sort of other interstitial, I have to go back to the coffee. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Oh, Harmon, what was the weirdest thing you saw in your expedition to the Middle East?
Oh well, it really didn't see much weird at all. Really, we found roughly what we anticipated finding. The potsherds and things like that.
A
Sort
what
of
now?
potsherds, bits of broken pottery, that sort of thing. The sort of thing that will tell you about the civilization that was there before.
And how does that work exactly? It's a broken pot,
Well,
and it
sure,
tells you
but
about it.
you can examine it and sort of attempt to determine what the contents may have been. Would tell you a little bit about the sort of things that civilization was working with. Um, Sort of their production of their pottery would tell you a lot about the materials that they used, how they might have cured it. I mean, this is dealing with civilizations so much older than our own, and we can learn a lot about our history through how they lived. So we can examine the remains of their home to see sort of how it's laid out and how many people might live there. Learn about their family structures, and it's all quite fascinating, really.
You get all of that from a broken piece of clay, a little tiny triangle of clay.
Well, not solely, but where the clay is found and what it's in relation to, and all of it together. You need to look at all of the things as one big picture, really.
I don't think I could possibly see it that way.
Well,
I guess it's
uh,
part of the archaeologist, and I'm not.
well, that could be. I've no doubt you could master it. You're certainly quick enough.
Uh, I don't know if looking at pots is my specialty.
Right. Well, I don't fault that in any way.
All right. So I'm sorry about that. So did you you went into a side thing. I appreciate that. So now that you have this information from the Derby Telegraph, uh, anything you want to do, change, think about, etc.
And I think we should move quickly. Um, we likely don't want to be in England any longer than we need to if this sort of thing is being investigated, and the Penhew Foundation is directly included.
Yeah, based on the way it's said, they're going to ship out their stuff that didn't get completely destroyed. So maybe that statue is going to go to where it needs to be.
Do anything with that statue?
Looked at it.
Okay, we didn't take it away or throw it in the water or anything like that.
It was very big and very heavy.
Okay,
Yeah.
We looked at it and and,
and
and,
then
and had a
left.
little bit of
Okay,
a break in sanity.
gotcha.
Hmm.
I remember there being a conversation, but I didn't remember what the ultimate decision was.
I was not particularly keen to touch it
Right.
after how it made me feel. Uh, well,
I think it's fair. So, um, you now have a contact in Rufus who may provide you some information going forward. Um, may also occur to you all that you are now sort of on the run a little bit, which um, disconnects you potentially from being able to receive or send messages to Carlton Ramsey, uh, depending on how you want to deal with that. Um, so you're no longer at your London address under your, so he may not be able to reach you. So that's just another thing that might occur to you.
Well, shall we head over to Henson's?
I suppose we should.
Okay. Let's do this thing.
Yep.
Okay. You guys do have a car you can take. Clyde is able to describe that it's not a, there are people who are traveling to Mickleover, not too far. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I would love to know actually how that's pronounced, Galexian, if that's a municipality that is known, or I don't even know if it's made up. But there is some vehicle traffic, but it's 1925. There's not a ton, and on top of that, uh, even if there were more car traffic at this time, it wouldn't be a major thoroughfare. So, driving down the road, you can get there. What do you want to do once you get near there? Or tell me where you want to stop or how you want to do that, but you can drive towards it for sure. And Clyde is able to guide you there.
Well,
So,
I'm afraid I'm a bit out of ideas at this point.
I was thinking is maybe we could head out.
It's evening, right?
It's what?
Evening?
Yes, it is evening.
It's night, right?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, for me, I would suggest that I somehow make my way around back with someone. Like over here. Because it's
Okay.
only 10-foot wall. Purdy's like 7 foot already. He could throw someone over.
I was thinking maybe we do this at nightfall when there's hopefully not as many people. I
Is
don't.
the wall? Is it something that somebody could theoretically perch on top of to get a look around?
Yeah, I mean it's described as a 10-foot tall stone wall. So
Okay.
my assumption would be, since it's stone, it's probably got to be at least foot to 18 inches to stack stones that high, even with mortar. Uh, so, but what are you guys doing with the car? Are you just parking out front? Are you?
Yeah, well, and let's park a ways down, maybe at least on the other side of the brickworks or somewhere similar.
That could work.
You want to park not past the place?
It does say brick
Park
wall,
before
by
we
the
would
way.
pass the
It's a
place,
brick,
or
so it's at least you know 8 inches. Sorry, I misread that. It's brick.
Yeah, I think we should park and not drive past,
got it.
so that the car is on the Derby side.
Oh man, Galaxy just said that on the way there you would have passed through an area that at least these days is known as California. I would have loved for there to have been a pond monster stop in California.
Maybe on the return trip.
We'll have to consider that at least a temporarily lost opportunity. Okay. Uh, so you park the car somewheres around here, and Purdy and is perhaps traversing this way. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think if we were gonna do we even have a ref plan? Is the idea to make a distraction and then some people get over?
I
I
don't know
think
what the
that
plan is.
I don't know that
Sorry.
we've gotten that far.
Here's
So then,
what I'm
yeah,
thinking. We need to take out the two guys who are patrolling the perimeter anyways, so we don't have any unnecessary disturbances. If we're quick about it, they won't even know we're here.
I think that is a worthy goal. I think them not knowing we're here, it would be good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure one hit from this man here is enough to take down any mortal being.
Wait, what?
Well, I don't
He's
think I'm
calling you
that strong. Oh, not me.
Sorry, that one. Keep reading things that flipped.
So that, yeah. So if you want to take me, if you want me to take these guys out, that's fine. I think it might be worthwhile. Like if we're really going to wait till night, I think it might be worthwhile if two of us go over to the old barn. You were in the old brickworks last time, right?
I was in the old barn.
Oh, you were in the old barn. So the two of us stay in the old brickworks. Two of us go over to the barn, and we just watch for like a good 2 hours. We decide on a time to meet again, just to see if we pick up any other information we might need to know before we do this.
I agree with this.
All right, and you guys were traveling as sun was going down, right? Because it is February,
Yeah.
so in the evening
Yeah.
it's dark. So okay.
I believe it is March 10th.
Oh, it is March 10th. Sorry, thank you. It is. Yeah, it's after a couple days after the Day of the Woman. All right. International Day of the Woman. Sorry, don't want to belittle the day. Okay. So, who's going to the old barn? Who's going to the old brickworks? If that's the plan you agree to.
I will look to Clyde for guidance.
Yes, just tell me where you think I'm most useful.
So one we haven't been in, which is probably means we should be a little more careful about that one. The old barn was sort of easy in and out, right?
Yeah, he was able to get in there and get into the hayloft without too much trouble. Old Brickworks is a slightly, basically it's an abandoned brickworks, and like looks like it's been not unused for maybe 10 years or more. It's not quite into the state of ruin, but it is certainly unkempt. Wouldn't be too hard to gain entry, but the door is locked with a padlock and chain. You could, however, you believe, pry a window open relatively easily.
You know, our lovely friend Phineas has taught me a wonderful many skills.
No, you want to give it a go?
I mean, come on. He said he said I did a very good job at learning. He said I had room to improve and that with enough time and effort I could maybe do it. And those were his exact words. I
Yeah.
could give the lock a try. Eh?
Go ahead. Go
That
ahead.
makes sense.
Try a
Who would
lockpicking.
So before you go there, though, I think we should decide who's with you and who's like, you know what? So if something bad happens, there's clarity as far as
I
who's
don't
where.
want to. I don't want to pick someone's potential downfall.
Or if
I already know.
anything
I
good
already know
happens.
that. I already know that Clyde's marked for death at this point, anyway. So
He's not necessarily marked for death.
I mean,
Perhaps eternal torment and nihilistic, or a nihilistic ending.
all right. I'm picking. He's gonna hold his hand behind
Let's
his back.
draw straws for
I
it.
have a number
Or is there a
between
team
1
that
and
makes
3.
sense?
I have a number between 1 and 3.
There's only one number between 1 and 3.
You know what I mean, Harmon. I think if the number is 1, 2,
I
or
mean, it
3.
could be 2.75.
Yeah,
and
Corey
there's
is
a lot of
pained by
numbers.
this
There's
conversation.
infinite numbers between.
Whoever gets
Purdy is going to guess 4.
goes. I'm going to the old brick. No, who's going? Who's going to the old brickworks for sure? Who wants to go there?
Well, I think
Well,
it makes sense
you
that
do because you
go.
want
I'll
to.
go.
You want to.
Right.
Okay.
So does it make
I'll
sense
go.
for one of us to go with Clyde?
Let's just do 2 and 2. We know we have a rule of never splitting up too much.
Yes.
I just heard
I
heard
agree.
Purdy say he would go.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah, we'll just back.
So
All
Purdy
right.
and
We're going
Clyde
this
will go
way.
to the old brickworks, and
Don't worry, I'll make sure he's proper scared.
And Daisy and I are going to the old barn?
It sounds like
Yeah.
a great team, Harmon. Let's go to the
Yes.
barn.
Great.
okay.
We're just going to go hide in the barn all night and not do anything.
Well, no, we
It's
can,
Just
Hey,
make-
look, you can look
we
at.
can watch.
Just
We're
make
very good at
pond
watching.
monster sounds if you guys are in trouble.
Right.
And I walk away.
Man, if only we'd
And I
found
walk
one
away.
and I could know what they sound like.
Here, do you have a lighter?
No?
I'm not burning down the barn.
No. He's gonna reach into his pocket, pull a little lighter he's got. You should be able to see it from the upstory window. We can see the light from here. Just give it a quick little flash if something comes up.
I have field glasses, so I can be spying pretty well.
I have an electric torch.
That works
There we
too.
go.
I guess I'll keep my lighter then. Just
We can do a little like
What are we signaling you for? What
in,
occurrence are we?
in 3 hours' time, or whenever sundown comes, when we're ready to go, we'll signal each other with lights.
To go where?
To the back of the building.
Where
Right.
the pink X is.
all right.
Okay.
When we're signaled, we will go there
We'll
And in
go
the
to
meantime, we
Pink
watch.
X.
to see if we learn any more information. That's the plan, right? We
I believe
have
that
a
sounds like
plan.
a wonderful idea.
All right.
Right.
If there's anything I heard during the war is that this Mulkey fellow is a pretty smart fellow and he knows what he's talking about. I want to try to pick the line now.
Go ahead, try it.
Right. We're going to the barn.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right,
Uh,
Bertie.
I need
What he said
stealth
is there's-
checks.
What he said is there's tumblers that are inside the lock. If you raise them up to a certain point, you get a.
Nope.
It's right.
Okay. I was actually looking for them from Daisy and Harmon going
Oh,
over to
good.
the
Oh,
bar.
okay.
Sorry, I didn't even hear you
sorry.
ask for anything.
Sorry.
So,
A
Bertie,
stealth?
I'm
Yep.
pretty sure if it's
Okay.
just this way.
This is to explain that stealth check. This is totally where Clyde's walking up some stairs, and I go up behind him and I go boo. As loud as I can.
All right,
Then that fails the
And he
lock check.
screams.
hold up. Hold up. He is not scared.
Okay.
What are you talking about? This would be contested.
Go ahead, give it a. I guess.
Jesus H. Christ! What are you doing, man?
All right. So you guys know that you're not being particularly on your A game for stealth, and obviously,
Pretty much is as good as I can do most of the
right.
times.
But it doesn't necessarily mean you've been seen. It just means that you know.
I didn't take the pennies out.
Um, so Daisy
I'm wearing
and
my white nurse uniform. I don't know why.
bright white. But as you go into the old barn, Harmon and Daisy, you know, floorboards are creaking. You know, at one point maybe you have to make a little light to see the ladder getting up into the hayloft, and you just know, like, if anybody's looking over here, you might not have been as surreptitious as you'd hoped.
Maybe that'll work in our advantage, because if we're not sneaking around, then maybe we're not up to no good.
Oh,
Maybe
yes,
people come
but-
here all the time just to hang out.
Oh, well, now I'm concerned that if we were seen, we will look like we were trying to be sneaky.
Oh. We should have brought like a picnic or something. So it looks like we're here for other reasons. Because this is a great
Right,
place
well,
to
that
have a
ship has
picnic.
sailed.
All right.
And I have a picnic in an old dark barn.
Yes.
with no light sources other than maybe matches or whatever you have on you. Uh, but Clyde and Purdy just walks up behind Clyde. Hey, boom! Ah! Now you guys can't get the door open. You do think you could probably pry open one of the windows to get in, but you have made a little bit of an exclamation.
Let's do it.
Not the time for that. I was thinking more you can do it like in a hotel room when I'm trying to sleep, and then you go boo. But this,
No, you
why?
were right. I mean, you pretty sure you need a new pair of those fancy pants you're wearing.
My britches are fine, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
So,
this is a joke. Why'd I ever take these lessons? Let's just try the window.
all right. As you try the window, it doesn't take much for you to pry this window open. It's not it's locked, but the wood is rotten and it just sort of pulls open rather, just shimmying it, you can get it open. But you've made a little bit more noise. Uh, Either of you can choose, depending on how you feel your character would react, to make a listen check.
Wob.
Okay, yeah, you're the one working the windows, so perhaps, yeah. Ooh, man, super fails.
I'm making ghost sounds to try to scare him again.
Okay. All right, as you guys sneak into the brickworks, I don't know that Purdy's, given the way Corey's describing Purdy currently, gives a shit. But Clyde,
Or counterpoint.
go.
Purdy has been drinking secretly.
Got it. All right.
I can't hear anything with you making booing noises in my ear.
Clyde is very much aware that the mission is perhaps going pear-shaped. So,
As Moki once said.
I, I I am here to make you start to worry about things. And if I'm not succeeding yet, I'm just gonna try harder.
I think you're doing a fantastic job at it, my friend.
all right, you guys find a staircase leading up to like a second floor storage area, like a mezzanine along the west side of the building, where you believe there are windows up there that you could see down into Henson Manufactory. I would like to do this in waves. So, uh, Harmon and Daisy both make a luck roll. Just one fail, two.
Oh my!
Oh no!
Your luck's
Failed
a
worse than
75.
you did.
What the
We
hell?
are extremely unlucky today.
Look at that, and even before you, mine 97,
798,
98.
Yeah.
100.
Oh,
Well, we can't get any worse than that. So
Now
All right.
101 will appear.
All right. 101. All right. Now I need a luck check for Clyde and Purdy. Okay.
Wow, we are consistent, you and I.
we are.
So, uh, at the time where you guys sort of get to your positions, and it's roughly about the same amount of time because even though there was a little bit of attempt with the lock and silliness ensued with the old brickworks, Harmon and Daisy had to walk much farther. So, by the time you get in positions, Daisy notices that the guards are on the west side of the building, and one of them is shining an electric torch up at the windows. Uh, as you're peeking out the window, you see the light creeping towards the window that you're looking at. What do you do?
writing down what you're just saying.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that's why I'm not responding because I was like, oh, okay, west side of the building. Like, so
Okay.
I'm writing down notes. Sorry, you had to look at the map. Which side is the west?
Okay, you're on the west side.
Yeah,
So-
I get that, but
okay.
it just was taking me a moment. Really? Okay, I guess I'll mention it to Harmon. There's a guard coming this way. He's got a
Down.
torch. Well, yes.
Okay, so you drop down under the window, and the light kind of goes up over, and can both give me a listen check.
Well, this can only go well.
We're talking. Maybe I could hear something.
Okay. No, you guys don't hear anything, but you see another light kind of moving in. So now there's two lights shining through. There's when I say window, I don't. It's not really a window so much as like slats in the like because I don't think there'd be a window in the top of the barn necessarily. So you're like peeking through, like where maybe a board has fallen away or broken, and so there's shining lights, and there's several of them throughout, the this barn, and so they're just shining lights, and one of them goes, maybe we ought to take a walk around there, uh, and another guy says, right, you go do that, I'll go catch up with Reg, and so, nope, not Reg, with Miller, uh, and so, uh, you hear you don't really. I mean, if you're kind of peeking out through these slats, you see kind of looking down. It's kind of difficult because they're toward the perimeter. You're mostly seeing like a little bit of the light of the electric torch moving the towards the main gate, sort of in the. Let me get my paintbrush back on. Sort of walking in this direction here, but to use Corey's colors here. You see another flashlight over here, and you see another one's moving over this way. So there were two guards when Clyde was here last. They seem to have increased their guard count by at least one.
The guards had babies.
And the way
at-
you're describing, go ahead.
Just to move over to Clyde and Purdy quickly, they can also see now these lights have sort of fixated over towards where their friends are at in the barn, and one of them is now moving towards them, but appears to be walking towards the main gate in the front. All right, Robin, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Um,
Or the statement?
nothing. I don't know.
Okay.
Right. I think we should follow. We should use Clyde's trick. Let's go lie down in the field.
Like run out of the barn and lie down.
Yes,
in a field?
if they're walking around to the gate, we've got some time.
All right. How about we go different directions?
I think that's probably wise.
All right.
Okay. If you guys want to use your pen, or no, just use your tokens. Just use basically this whole area here as sort of the back fields that you could run to. You could
I was thinking directly away from
to the west.
factory. So like, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. You can do that.
I can't grab my tokens. So
Okay. Are they being not tokens? It doesn't matter because we don't have room to move you to anyway.
yeah, I'm just running.
I'll go
westward.
north if north is up.
Okay.
I'll go up.
Okay.
If he
Yep.
goes west.
I'll go left.
All right. I have set them to be tokens for you, but I'll move this and we'll have it go that way. All right. What are as that happens? Let's see. You hear sort of the large gate open at the front, and it's at a distance as you're moving away from the barn, trying not to make too much noise as you move through the barn because there still is this person here who is shining a light, and I'm gonna give him a chance to spot hidden. So let's see. Character sheet, edit mode.
Do we, by any chance, have any clue that this is going on?
Yes, you do. Because you can see the lights moving towards the barn. You see the person moving. Oh, that they're leaving the barn. That they're running away from the barn.
No, but that they might be caught. I guess is like.
I think it wouldn't surprise you that there's a chance that there's attention to your friends to the west. That wouldn't. Ooh. All right. Uh, so the one who is now you definitely have a clue because the one over here shouts out, I saw movement in the barn. Saw movement in the barn. Because as they were flashing the lights, you guys got up to move, and they could see shadows through the slats as it's moving through. Don't know what it is. And definitely, Clyde and Purdy can hear that. So now, one of this guard here, the one that can see it, the one that called it out, he's going to be moving in this direction.
I'm going to start barking like a dog.
Okay, what skill check do I want for that?
No idea.
Woof.
Give me bark, bark, wolf, wolf.
We did add a deception skill. I'm real bad at it. But...
Okay. Deception doesn't feel right,
get
though.
Ready to run into the place because I think this is the best distraction they're going to give us.
I guess so.
All right, you
He's
guys.
gonna just get his dagger ready.
I have no idea what, like...
I have no idea either. I'm gonna just go with
natural world.
Yeah, fine.
Yep.
Oh, closer than it had a right to be.
Yeah, it really was.
All right. But you know what? I don't know that I want to roll for that. Actually, I think if you're gonna make that barking noise. I'm gonna just let it play out. That okay, might be a dog. But he's not convinced because might also be somebody making dog noises. And,
with an American accent.
Yeah, we don't say bark bark over here. I don't actually.
Yep.
But this one is going to move. He has already moved out to here. This one is going to move towards the main gate. And this one is going to back up a little bit. All right, and then Clyde and Purdy, we're going to make a break for it, right?
I mean, I think this is the best chance we got. If we're going to get in that building.
Might as well do it now.
Okay. So.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
We kill 3 men. Or they kill us.
I mean, yeah. Aren't you the soldier?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe you've killed more people than I have.
I throw Clyde out the window.
You guys make your way downstairs. Nobody is looking at the building that you're in, so no need for stealth checks. You guys can get back out the way you came. Once you get to around here, you can see that the gates are thrown open. So
you like. I feel like with my size, I could easily pull myself up over these, but I could also easily get Clyde over them.
That's up to you.
I can climb. Let's switch you over first, and he's gonna.
Like I feel like we could go this way. If I'm
yes, that's what I'm thinking. I want to go to the side of the
totally.
building.
Yeah,
here.
you guys can totally do that. So if I'll take a climb check from either of you. And if one of you is boosting the other, you get a bonus die to the one who's getting boosted. The one who doesn't get boosted is going to be on their own.
On a scale of 1 to climbing, how are you good at climbing?
I mean, I'm just going.
I give him a boost.
Okay.
Because I'll climb.
Go ahead and roll the bonus die. A 56 still will not do it. So you guys scramble up and you slide down the wall.
Here. I'm gonna just push you up over. Can I push him up now?
You can get the bonus die.
We're a mess.
I can't. Oh, that's
No!
weird.
No. All right.
Hey, hey,
These
this is a
walls,
10-foot
they're so
wall.
slick. They polish them.
They clearly put bacon grease all over these things. Come on, let's go
All right.
around.
The other side seems fine. This is well too polished and well maintained.
All right. Where are you guys going?
Run in the gate, I guess. Oh, you're gonna go up there?
I
Let's
mean,
go
if
run
you
to the
want to,
gate.
unless you want to tussle with 3 guards.
No, they're outside. We can see them all
Well, you
because
could.
they're carrying
You guys
flashlights.
currently can't. You can just see sort of
No,
a
we
glow
can't.
of
But
light from over the fence. I'm gonna check on Harmon and Daisy. Daisy, you were gonna. I mean, I think you both were talking about doing the flatten in the field.
Yeah, I'm laying in a field. I ran north and I just laid down.
All right, give
I
me
So
barked on the way out of the barn, and then I lay down in the field.
give me a stealth. You guys are laying in tall grass, very tall grass. Uh,
look at that,
Nice.
Harmon.
Took the
Yeah,
pennies
Sorry.
out and everything.
I didn't take the pennies out. I expressly said I forgot to do that.
okay. All right. So they are not as it. I'm going to have them walk, and they will do a quick. Well, just one guy out here with a flashlight. He is going to do a spot hidden, and I have to beat it or just meet it?
I'm sure there's a rule on it.
Yep,
I have no idea.
and I don't.
Hold on. I bet you that cheat sheet's good here.
Yep, and I'm pretty sure
Um,
I'm pretty sure it's meat. I say wolf old chap. What?
yeah. What's that? You
Uh,
put a lot of random shit.
I don't know when they're contested roles and when it's just
right.
player roles or.
The page 82 might tell us.
You know, I don't know. I just grabbed my book here. Still learning the game because we do a lot of RP and not a lot of mechanics, which is good.
I think
like
that's
it.
from what I understand. That's how the game's meant to work.
It is. There's supposed to be less mechanic-y stuff, yeah. So, and I'm sort of, opposing skill difficulty. Okay. I don't know that I see how opposing skill checks work.
Oh, here it is. Can I pin things? No, I can't.
Let's see, opposed skill rolls, player versus player, and melee combat.
Pose rolls. Both sides make the appropriate roll. The best level of success prevails. Cannot be pushed. Uh, yeah. So
So if they meet, then
no one
nobody.
prevails. No one
Whoever has
prevails.
the higher level of skill would win. So since his
Yeah.
spot hidden skill is higher than your stealth skill, he technically wins.
No. Level of success.
Oh, level of success. They both had a normal success.
Yeah. So no
But
one
then
wins. So whatever that means.
But then isn't Dawson saying that it then goes on to say if whoever's
Oh,
more skillful in the skill they're using,
I think
I
that's
don't
how
know
it
if it says
is
that.
if
It's on the
if
cheat
they're
sheet.
tied,
Charm, fast talk, intimidate, and persuade can be opposed by the same skill or psychology. Cannot be pushed.
Yeah, I don't say I'm reading opposing skill difficulty. For each skill, entry notes are provided for which skill if works in opposition, and suggestions given for what constitution a regular or difficulty. So the regular difficulty level requiring a roll equal to or below the skill value is the default roll. where things are significantly more difficult. So I don't know what that means.
In the case of a tie, the side with the higher skill or characteristic wins. If it's still
Okay.
tied, either an impasse has been reached or both sides should be rolled.
Let's do a reroll.
Well, that sorts that out.
Yeah, maybe I might fail.
Wow.
Wow.
What is this game today?
All right,
No, roll 20.
I am gonna not depend on a mechanic here and go with an RP. So here's how we're gonna do this. At Daisy, you do not feel well hidden. You
I
can.
am lying on my back with my field glasses looking at the sky.
I don't think.
I'm pretty much sure I'm going to be found because I suck at stealth. I shouldn't be on an espionage mission. So I'm just going to embrace it and be like, I'm watching stars or clouds, whatever's happening weather-wise tonight.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing.
As you're laying on your back in the field, you can see the light getting closer. You know that Harmon ran west. As the person moved over to the west of the old barn, you can see that they see some sort of movement to the west, and they are getting closer and closer to Harmon. Harmon, you think you might be made. What is it you wish to do? As I'd rather just
I'm
have
gonna
it be
run
character
further.
decisions. You get up and run.
Yep.
Uh, all right, you get up and run, and will he chase? Um, he's gonna say "Oi, oi," and he will chase after you. Um, so we will go to a chase mechanic here in a second. Daisy, you can hear all of that happening. You don't feel like you believe that Harmon getting up and running has removed any danger from you directly. Is there anything you wish to do, knowing that Harmon has now just taken off running to the west?
Hmm. Um, I don't see anyone coming my way,
No.
and he's running to the west. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'll get up and run to the east, and I'll just start screaming.
Okay.
You know?
Because you're up north here, so you're going to run
Yeah.
along the east of the back wall here by maybe 10, 20 yards, uh, 30 to 60 feet,
I
sort of.
mean, I don't want to be like, yeah, I guess where I saw my token, however far north I got, I don't want to be like
Yeah.
right up against the wall,
No, you
you
wouldn't
know?
be. You 20
Right.
yards. 20,
Yeah.
20 yards is
So,
60 feet. Half a
yeah,
football
so
field, kind of.
60 feet, that sounds like a good distance, but
Oh,
I'll run back the other
and
direction and
start
start
screaming.
screaming as if I'm being chased by, I'm gonna
A dog.
imagine like a wolf, like a big dog with, yeah, like a wolf or some sort of like hound monster type of thing.
Okay,
So
we will go
I'll be
to.
screaming bloody murder.
Here's what happens. So then this guy. Oop, wrong tool. This guy will now go, what? What the devil? And he'll start running this way towards that wall. This one is going to be, there's nothing he can do, but he's like, oi, maybe we ought to close the doors. And so this one is running towards the sound. This one's going to start. I'm grabbing too many specific pieces here. This one's going to start moving towards the doors. What are Clyde and Purdy doing?
I think we're gonna. I was, but Clyde could convince me otherwise. I was gonna run towards the gate.
Okay.
The open gate.
Got it.
Let's do it subtly. Let's not make sure they know everyone's here at once.
Okay. How do you guys want to do that? You're going to go sort of
I think I really am sort of going for. I'll try to be quiet, but I really would like to go for some speed.
Okay. So,
I mean, I'm not without sort of spoiling the plot. I think if I think they are in trouble, which I do, really probably the first thought in my mind is lighting a building on fire is going to divert all the like danger from them.
All right, you could try to set like the wooden components of the old brickworks, like the mezzanine, etc.
No. We're going inside and we're lighting something on
Oh, okay,
fire. We're going.
okay. So
Yeah, that's pretty.
you guys are gonna beat feet this way.
That's Clyde. Are you okay with that? Because really,
Well,
Clyde, Purdy
never good.
would follow Clyde in this case.
Never good to split up the party now, is it?
No. But if you started running another way, Purdy wouldn't leave you at this moment. Is what I'm saying.
It's
So
fine.
he
Front
would.
door's fine.
All right. Whew.
So
We have 34 minutes to make all of this happen. Let's see what goes on.
but
All right. First off, uh, let's do this by the numbers. What is your speed, Harmon?
My speed?
Yep.
Where's that?
It will be your move skill. It should be
Move is what I mean.
in
Yeah.
combat.
Well, I don't know.
You go to combat, open that page. It'll give you a list of skills you have, and then
I
right
My
center.
movement rate is 8.
8. That's what I need is movement. Yep. I know there's a in the book here. There is a like flowchart for doing chases, and I am not finding that flowchart. All right. So first thing is the speed roll. This roll adjusts each movement rating for the duration of the chase. Everyone has a movement rating. You have an 8. The guard has a I can't find mine. 8. Okay, so that's a tie. So each participant in the chase makes a con roll, if on foot or self-propelled mode, to test his or her physical condition and endurance. So uh, we each do a con roll.
That just Constitution?
Yep, straight Constitution.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, you do.
Oh, okay. So on a success, no change. On an extreme success, you get a +1. On a failure, you get a -1. So you're going to be at 9, and I'm going to be at 7. All right, so compare speeds. The fleeing character escapes if their adjusted movement is higher than their pursuer. Well, I guess that just did that. So I'm trying to follow the rules every time now so that I get them straight. Like just instead of like keeping the game moving, I want to make sure I'm doing this correctly. So Harmon, you successfully beat feet, and the guy
That's
just.
good. I'll have 2 successful rolls for the night, and one of them will actually accomplish something.
But he's going to chase after you for a good bit. So he is now, you're moving west. You can see like a farmhouse to the distance. Like if you keep huffing and puffing it, you might make it to this farmhouse.
I'm looking for a pond. I'm going to enlist a pond monster's help.
Okay. Give me a luck check. If you have an extreme success, I'm going to say there's a pond. Oh! Oh, no ponds. You do come across a light stream, though. You could look.
Not deep enough for a monster.
You could find a creek monster, maybe.
The creek creature.
All right, so Harmon, you have managed to pull away one of the guards. The other one is paying attention to the north because somebody is screaming bloody murder to the north. The other one's moving towards the gates. As Purdy and Clyde approach the front gate, you can see the light shining out the door coming this direction, like kind of lighting up this area here. So you know somebody is shining their electric torch out the front of that gate. You are walking past the smaller gate, the lesser gate. Or moving quickly past.
And that one's not open, right?
It is not open.
I think I do the the mom arm
Okay.
to Clyde.
You're not gonna
Um,
do the special forces.
no. I'm gonna
Oh,
do
Clyde
mom
does that.
arm.
Purdy does this.
I think Purdy more thinks of himself as like the mother hen of these three. So
Gotcha.
he's gonna put his arm out and probably clothesline Clyde, but that's unimportant. Um,
Nice.
and he's gonna try to lure that guy out, and he might do terrible things to him when he
Okay.
comes outside.
What are you doing to lure him out as you've stopped Clyde? You guys are both standing on the like. I'm kind of picturing. Tell me if I have it differently. But these two gates are open, wide, and
Yep,
you guys are standing like just on the other side of the wide open
like
gate.
right here, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, yeah, yeah.
Okay. And so
He's my
this guy's
little
sort of creeping
marker.
out. He's not creeping out because he's not necessarily afeared.
Yeah,
I'm gonna erase your balloon here, Corey. Uh,
don't worry. Yeah,
just because I need to grab
it was
my
only.
my pseudo token here.
Yep,
Uh,
I know.
I wonder if I can. I
I'm
think I
I'm the
can change
person I
this to a
hated when
different.
I DM'd. So,
In
uh,
this moment, Clyde, while Purdy's doing his thing, Clyde's going to try to conceal himself as best he can. See, he's trying to lure him out. He's got his knife with the knuckle duster on it ready to go, and if he pops out, he's just going to get a big old hit to the face.
All right. So this guy's walking, and I'm sorry, I missed what you were gonna do to lure him further out. He's sort of looking.
it was
He's actually gonna look towards.
absolutely 100% ghost noises.
Ooh.
He's gonna go. All right. Um, guy pulls out. He's got his flashlight in one hand,
Tackle,
and,
tackle.
and man, I keep double clicking it. And he's going to. He's got sort of a truncheon in his right hand.
Yeah. That's
So
fine.
so he's
I
good.
am just going to fucking cold cock him.
All right. He knows you're there because of the woo. So
Yeah, that's right.
so I guess what's your like? We'll put the like click your token, and I'm actually gonna have
And
to
I
drop a
click
real
that on.
token on here. I think
Yeah.
because I don't think. I don't think I can use my asterisk anymore for this. So,
And I cannot move my token,
okay,
just
I
to be
will.
clear. But I can roll. Like it does. That doesn't matter. I don't think. So
I'm going to use D Mendoza for this just because.
that's fine.
All right. Except it's not letting me think of it as a token. I wonder why. There we go. Set dimensions. All right, I will give you control of your token in a second just to.
Yeah, I don't think it's unless you think it's important. But
I don't know that it is. But it may become so. So why don't I just do that? Why can't I find Purdy?
while we're taking this pause, I just wanna. I will pay someone $50 to make their next character after we all die here tonight have a 95 in listening.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Usually don't have a
You
bad
have to. No,
listening.
that's the entire. You have to make the entire character around that stat.
I have a 65, which isn't terrible, but I have failed every single thing I've rolled
Uh,
tonight, or today. So, yeah. So, I mean, just because it's there doesn't mean you're going to roll right.
no.
My next
What
my next
95 is supposed
character
to be like the best in the world, right?
Oh,
Wasn't that?
my
yeah.
next character is
Oh,
going to be Purdy's old boxing trainer, just because I want it to be the old man punching the cop.
Old man Birch.
I know.
Throw
I totally know what my next one is, and looking forward to exploring that.
All right. Um, so I've highlighted him. Then I go over here and I click initiative. I think. Do I have to go to combat to get to initiative?
It's your deck score.
Uh, I know. I thought there was a button in here that just lets me put my. Yeah, dexterity to turn tracker is a button. So, except for
Oh, I couldn't. Yeah, I need to pick a token, which I can now. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
There we go. Like,
I
do you
don't.
need to delete one of me? You need a token too. Oh no, you have.
I have one.
Oh,
It's
that's
just
Clyde.
saying.
Never mind.
All
That's
right.
Clyde. He always looks like
This
someone
should
nefarious.
not be here. Like.
Why am I so slow?
Oh, because I need to clear this turn token. That's why. Hold on. I need to remove all the turns. Your initiative's always.
We actually only see. You saw more than we did because we're on other maps.
Oh.
You could just delete them.
Okay. So too late, but it doesn't matter because your initiative's always the same anyway.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Cool. All right, and so as he crawls around, none of you are surprised because, uh, you know, you were making ghost noises. He heard ghost noises. So, it will go. Clyde goes first, apparently. So, Clyde, you are, I think, behind Purdy at this point because you got mom armed.
Apparently, I think I did say I wanted to try and see if I can get to like the side of the gate door before he made ghost noises, but I don't know if that ever went off
That's fine. You can do that.
because I was planning to hide, and that's pretty lured him. He's like, "Woo!" And then I was just gonna just clock him.
Okay, give me a brawl. And here we go again into. I'm going to pull up the rules for combat.
You
11.
don't even need rules. Not with that roll.
Oh, crap. All right. Well, I mean, he will try to he's gonna try to fight back. So fight
I will let
back.
you know in terms of fight back, you have to get a critical success.
Oh, one.
Yep, I know. It it wouldn't have been. I mean, I'm kind of playing it role play, where he's going in violent and he's not gonna try to dodge first. Uh, so he will fight back with a brawl truncheon. Oh, but he loses, so I take the damage, right? Like,
You take all of that. I'm trying to.
17.
because
I don't think it's 17. Well, a 4 plus 2, it's 6. That's the max damage. Plus additional D4 plus 2 because that's the impale. So I think
So the
it would just
extreme
be
must be the
11.
the
11 is the
11.
full
11.
damage.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Ooh. Well.
Clyde gonna cut a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Clyde's army training takes it like his bayonet fighting, and it just goes right through the guy's throat, and he just falls over dead. So this guy just collapses right in front of Purdy, bleeding out on the road. But it was silent.
Well, I did say it was
buddy.
going to be. I did say it was going to be quiet.
Ghosts are always silent.
Kill
We
her!
run in.
Okay, this guy's bleeding out in the middle of the road. What do? You run into?
Spent the last 20 minutes making ghost noises and then declared, well, ghosts are always silent, and ran in.
I'm just gonna look to him and say, I'm sorry.
All right, as you look, there's another guard who has sort of lights up towards the northwest because you can hear what you recognize to be Daisy making wolf noises and screaming. Not wolf noises.
Definitely
She's
the
fleeing
first
a
No,
day
wolf.
of
I was
his job.
just
Just
screaming,
screaming.
saying I was being chased by a wolf, pretending. I'm not making the wolf noises.
Right,
I
right.
left that to Harmon.
Right. So you can hear Daisy screaming in the background, and this other guy, Reese, Reese, and he turns around and he sees Clyde.
Oh, he's got a name and everything too.
Well,
No,
Reese is dead. Yeah. Well,
no.
Reese's and Pieces.
I was going to make that joke. Oh man.
Sorry, I made it much worse than you ever would have.
No, it's exactly the joke I was going to make.
I'll never the Reese in
Exactly.
peace in my Reese in peace. The guard.
all right. So this one yells halt, and he is going to. What are you doing? Where's Reese? What do you do? Clyde's got.
I have a bloody dagger in hand, so
Yeah.
there isn't much to say. He's just gonna just assume a fighting position and just get ready.
Uh. Does
I don't assume I can move up to him to get to him. So I also already stabbed somebody this round, so that's it.
this guy looks left? He looks right. Uh. And he's like, all right, and he just rushes at you. You have initiative.
Oh, like, are we redoing combat?
Oh yeah, he's probably gonna run at you with his truncheon. Because he sees the look in your eyes and you've assumed a fighting position, so he's going to.
Gonna charge up to him and stab him in the gut, I guess.
Okay.
Keeping up with the trends.
Jeez. He's
Wow.
gonna try the dodge. He's not as foolhardy as the other guy. So I need to. Here,
I feel like you need a bigger knife, Clyde.
This is the biggest knife I can buy. Anything more, I need a machete.
It seems to me it seems a little small.
This is the bigger knife.
I win on the tie on a dodge, right? Like on a.
You sure do.
Okay, so he dodges out of the knife attack, and he still gets to attack though,
He
right?
does.
On his turn he can.
Yeah, it's my turn though, right? So.
Yep.
Okay, so he's gonna dodge out of the way, kind of sidestep, and he's gonna try to clang on the side of the head with his truncheon. Ooh, hard success.
I will try to duck that. Ooh.
Ooh.
I could spend some luck here unless you don't do that.
I let you guys spend luck most of the time, so if you want to spend the 14, you can.
I'll throw a 4 luck in there to get my dodge down to a 17.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
need a hardest
Oh,
dodge.
That's right. Okay. Okay, you throw the 4 luck on it. Maybe it is that your dodge, like you maybe step in sort of on some loose gravel and it just pushes you down even so much harder that it just grazes off the side of your head. It's your turn.
How about Purdy?
Technically,
Purdy.
technically it's Purdy's turn.
Yeah.
Ghost
Okay.
noises.
And
Ghost noises to distract everyone.
Okay.
Ghosts are silent.
Yeah, they are.
Until they're not.
Unless you're sensitive to them, and then they're very loud.
All right. I'm gonna check in quickly before we go into more combat. After the ghost noises happen, what is Daisy? Are you gonna continue running and distracting? Because I think at this point, if you let up even a little bit from the scream, you could maybe hear at this point that there's a scuffle going on inside the compound.
I mean, is anyone? My goal was to try to steer people away from Harmon,
Right.
but you said that guy chased Harmon. So, do I see anyone even over here anymore? Like,
You can
it seems
see
like everyone's going to the front of the building or west. Like, it doesn't seem like anyone's aware of me.
if you looked over your shoulder, you wouldn't see anybody aware of you. You would actually see, at this point right now, looking over, you would see a guy, the flashlight moving to the west, stop, and almost like it gave up, and is
Okay.
slowly turning back to the east, so heading back towards where you're at, but looks to be heading towards the front of the building, and you're in the back of the building. So they're heading southeast, and you would be to the northeast of the person.
All right.
Like if Daisy's here at this point, this guard here, way farther, but heading like this, but is way off the map at this point.
I'm not seeing anything when you talk
Because
about
I
a
stopped to
guard.
click. I stopped. I didn't.
Oh,
I
oh,
didn't. I
okay.
didn't unclick. Way to the west
Oh,
though,
okay.
and heading
I
towards
think
this
I'm
way.
good. And so nobody seems to be like chasing me or following me,
No, you have
right?
no sense that anybody's following you at this point.
I'm gonna make my way back to the car.
Okay.
I don't know if keys are left in the car or not, but my goal is to get to the car and possibly see if I can get it
Oh, don't use
started.
that icon.
I had
Guess
to.
who's back?
Yeah. My thought is if I could,
All these men are dead.
well,
just
if I
don't know it yet.
my thought is I'm going to get to the car and maybe be a getaway driver. There's no sense for me to go in there. I
Okay.
can't fight. I can't stealth.
I
There's
don't.
no sense for me to be there, right? So my goal is to get to the car and maybe have it running if at all possible so that if my friends come running back, we can get out of here. So
I
that's where Daisy's going to go.
I think you guys as a group can decide whether or not you would have left the keys in the vehicle or not. That's up to you.
I imagine we probably did for exactly this sort of eventuality.
Yep. If you need to get out quick, leave the keys in the car.
But
Okay.
Purdy was driving.
Yeah, I don't know what Purdy did with them, but
The question is Daisy's making her way back to the car, and she's hoping that the keys are in the car so she can start it and get a getaway car ready for you guys. And I said it's up to you guys about whether or not you took the keys with you or left them in the car.
Yeah, it'll have. Yeah, well,
As a getaway car kind of maneuver, leaving the keys in the car.
try to hotwire it if they're not
That
there.
would be fun
we'll
too.
See how that goes.
That would be amazing if you had a success and then all of a sudden had that skill.
Right?
I love when skill development happens.
But that's
Okay.
her goal. Like one way or another, maybe I can get this started so I can pick my friends up.
I'm sorry. I had to take care of some business, but I recognized the car in this map suddenly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Guess who's back?
Oh,
I will
it
find
looks
an automobile
surprisingly
token.
clean.
I had to bring it back. I had to bring it back
Because
because this whole fracas is kind of turning out the way that one did. So.
Yeah,
What?
it sure is.
Again,
So
Loki's a
Harmon,
very smart man.
so Harmon's aware that this guy is turning back around, but he's
Yep.
also aware, or assumes, that we probably did create a sufficient distraction by being idiots. So I'm going to turn and I'm going to draw one of my pocket stones, and I'm going to try to hit that guy with it.
Yes,
Okay.
you are the best thrower in this party. You got this.
Daisy told me to bring rocks, so I brought them.
No.
Aw.
I was really pulling for you.
How lucky
yeah.
are you there? Are you really, really
Nope,
lucky?
no way I'm spending 15 luck. I am so incredibly unlucky that I can't spare it.
All right. So
That luck stat is misleading because my rolls tell a different story.
I know, right?
I'm gonna do this quick just because I think it'll be fun. Even though we are running out of time quickly, I will give him a luck roll. Oh, they don't give NPCs luck. I'll give him.
Probably because they're lucky enough, man.
there is something in the cheat sheet about this. Hold on. There is something.
Luck is entirely based on our failures.
Yeah, they actually say like they don't
Uh-huh.
like the GM rolling. I just like having a bit of chance to it. I don't want to just decide that this guy now has a rock land near him, so he's gonna. You know.
I mean, it was aimed at him.
Right, but with a failure, I mean, it could have landed short. It could have. I mean, I could just give him a listen check, maybe. He heard it. He's gonna turn back around.
The rock.
He's gonna turn back around. So Daisy, as you're kind of following that, you see the light turn back towards the west.
I don't think I would. At this point,
Oh, that's right. You're over at the car. I
I'm
forgot.
already
Yep.
running towards the car. So
All right.
sorry, Harmon.
Harmon, you may.
That's
end
okay.
up-
I'm running again.
Okay.
I want to keep this guy's attention away from what's going on there.
It worked. All right. So he's gonna actually sort of. you can see a bit of indecision on his face, and he's just gonna, "Aye, oi!" and he's gonna just sort of half-heartedly jog towards you again. So we're gonna say that worked. You drew him away farther.
But I have no light, and I'm a long ways away because I already got away from him once.
Oh,
so
I
I'm
should
gonna
have
start
probably.
barking again.
Oh well, he had a light, so you would have been able to throw at the light. Yeah. Okay, so you start barking again.
Yep.
Okay. All right. You guys really lean into the crazy. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Harmon is
like-
completely
I love
lost for what to do, so he's just
I love
running
it.
with what
No,
he
I
what he
love
came
it.
up with.
I love it.
We're crazy. We're just working with what is happening, man.
I know.
It's a crazy world.
It is a crazy world. All right. Clyde, I think you're up.
Where's Purdy in all this? You know, my backup,
Purdy,
my buddy,
I think, was
I
saying
ran
that he
a
was going to
different
make
way.
ghost,
The guy who
ghost
can
noises.
fight. the guy who can fight.
I think I also deleted his
I
token
ran
or
a different
something.
way. So
And
in fairness, I deleted my token accidentally.
Oh,
but
okay,
it's
I'll put
probably
it back
around
on.
here.
All right, I'll put
Because
it back on.
I just ran that way while you ran that way. I assume I understand Clyde's in danger.
It's not like you did this to me
So-
3 times before or something.
What are you talking about? Look how big I am now. I'm gonna beat the shit out of that guy.
My hero.
I cast enlarge.
So I can't move him. But
No, I
if
got. I
yeah,
got.
like if I can get up there, like the minute I know he's in a fight, I'm gonna turn around.
You're good to go now, Corey. You can move him.
So I was out for a round, but now I will actually, so I think.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah,
All right. He's
I
gonna.
don't play around.
He's gonna try to dodge.
Yeah, go for it.
Nope. He's gonna get hit in the head with some brass knuckles from a boxer. And
And there's 2 of me now. He's so hit. He's 2 of me.
He's seen double.
oh no,
Mirror image.
no. That was an extreme success, so he took 10 points of damage. He did.
Yeah. But he's all 2 of me.
You guys have murderized 2 guards. The 3rd guard is chasing after Harmon, sort of puffing and wheezing, kind of. Oh, fucking
So-
hell. So you guys
So
are
now
now.
this one.
So
This
you
one-
said there was a farmhouse nearby, and
Yep.
so I'm hoping that my barking will get actual dogs barking. Is my thought process here.
Let's get a luck roll. Any luck will do. Any success will do, and there'll be dogs that hear
Nope.
you. Okay. So, no.
See? Told you. No luck.
I think honestly, this is probably as good as it's gonna get for a stopping point. You guys tell me what you want to do with the guards' bodies, but because anything we do further is just we're just not going to get a better stopping point for today since we're ending at noon today. So this is it's probably as good as it gets. So tell me how you want to wrap it up for a good place to pick it up next time we play. Which I believe we still get one more game in, right, before we go into a small hiatus?
I think we might have said 2.
Oh, we get 2 more games in? Okay, good.
No, maybe it's not. Sorry, it's them. Yeah, we only got 1. Sorry.
One more game. Okay, but we do have another game in before we go into a mini hiatus.
Fourth.
So,
It's
okay.
That's Easter. Yeah.
Okay. So, what, Clyde
So
and
for the
Purdy-
one I just beat up, I am picking up that bunny,
Okay.
and I am gonna whatever's in that building. Purdy's intent is to try to blame it on that. Like whatever those lights are, he's gonna place
Okay.
that body in front of
These, we had said, sorry, I should have clarified this earlier. Clyde saw lights in there at night.
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that was some
but
time
I'm
ago.
like-
No lights right
Yeah.
now. Windows are dark.
No.
Okay.
Whatever's in that building,
Okay.
Purdy's gonna blame that murder on.
Okay. And then the guy who is in a pool of blood outside the
Well,
gate.
I'm taking him out of the street.
Okay. So
I might take his jacket he's wearing wipe up some of the blood.
Okay. All right. You guys bring the two dead guards to the main. That the door to the building is locked, and I think we'll leave that there. Harmon, you get to roughly, sort of the farmstead, uh, and the guy stops again and just is like, "Oh, fuck it," and he goes to turn around back towards
I'm gonna
Henson
throw another rock
Manufacturer.
at his head.
All right, let's just see what that roll is, and we'll. Okay, and I'll give him a listen. Well, I think I deleted the.
I missed by a lot that time. He
Yeah,
might not hear that at all.
yeah. I'm gonna say he has to have a hard success in order to. Um, I deleted the sheet.
I think his score was a 50.
Yeah, I'm just gonna R2 or 1D100. That would be a regular success, I think. Um, so no, he does not hear it, and he's gonna turn back towards the manufacturing plant. Daisy, keys are in the car. It goes quiet in there. There's a sort of a sound of a brutal punch, and everything goes quiet. It's sort of a soggy, wet noise. Um,
Yeah, I don't
You
know if I'd
you
hear.
heard
I
the
mean,
sound
they're
of somebody
inside
throwing a
a compound.
watermelon off a
it's true.
bridge.
They're
So
they're
You
inside
just
the
hear
compound.
ghost sounds.
they
You
are.
literally hear ghost sounds.
They are, but
They never stopped.
it is open air where they're at. Uh,
Right. I'm just trying to get a sense of
Yeah.
where I am. So we parked
you're like
down the
you're,
ways
you're probably
on the other side of the old brickworks,
right,
right?
right.
So I'm
Yeah,
in that
you probably
vehicle,
wouldn't have heard that, but there
but they're
is
in a compound,
no more
right?
ghost noises.
Okay. Um, but I think I will start the vehicle anyway and not turn lights on.
Okay, vehicle
I
started,
don't
but the
know
lights
how
are not.
cars worked back then, but I don't want to be driving. I don't want to be making a lot of noise. I don't
Okay.
even know how well I can drive, to be quite honest. So this will be, interesting. But I want to see if I can get it started, and that's the ghost. Okay,
Ep-
and start, inching down the street,
okay.
basically
Yep.
towards the gate.
You
But
don't need to make a drive check in order to just drive normally. Should you guys get into some sort of vehicular chase, then you have to make drive checks.
okay.
A vehicular kerfuffle, even.
I'm
Yeah.
imagining this like the first time I was behind the wheel of a car and it's like, oh, even when you don't have your foot on the gas, it moves. I kind of imagine like not that cars worked exactly the same back then, but Daisy just kind of like it's just,
Oh, you can idle. Yeah.
going on its own and
Yeah.
she's trying to figure out how this works because I don't know as if she's driven before.
All
But
right.
yeah.
Off you go. And that's, I think, where we'll pick up in 2 weeks' time. So, Clyde and Purdy are in the compound with two dead bodies at the front door that is locked. Harmon is just thrown a rock again to try to, sort of distract the final guard who is heading back to his post at this point. And the getaway car is being slowly moved into position by Daisy. And that, I think, is where we'll pick it up next time. So this was fun. I didn't know that we'd go dark, but I'm glad we did. Well, not dark, but action oriented today. But after a couple of episodes of running away and having conversations about pond monsters, this is uh, back to form. Arson was discussed heavily, which is exactly how it should be. So uh, I hope you all had fun. I know I did. Yeah, thanks, Claxia, for hanging out. Appreciate you being here and helping us out with our British geography and pronunciations, and of course, just giving us ideas for like the Hound of Tindalos, which would be an amazing addition to this
Yeah, that's what
encounter.
we need. Because we're not going to get ourselves dead from people.
There's already some cultists who could pose a problem, sure.
Or party members.
Yeah.
But in any case, we will be back here in 2 weeks' time. Same bat time, same bat channel here on Roleplay Give. If you are not a bot and not already a follower, really would appreciate a follow. Once we get to 50, we can do some stuff with rerolls, etc. And anything that the channel generates will be going to a quarterly charity organization that will select and advertise out there. And just as part of the whole gig here is sort of the idea is to play games and do some good with it. So if you are so inclined, please hit that follow button, and we would really appreciate it. Otherwise, I think we're done. Thanks so much, players. That was a lot of fun, and we will be back in we'll be back tomorrow night with the Warbler Brothers, where we play Candlekeep Mysteries, and it's four half brothers, all have the same mom, uh, who are just looking for their next rock and roll gig, but just keep running into mayhem and murder on the Sword Coast. So if you're so inclined, we play that at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time tomorrow night on this channel. Come see Ed and I be fools. That's basically what happens with DM Dusty. Anyway, cheers. Have a good one. We're out of here. Stop.